We're going to start in child's pose today. So bring the big toes to touch. Take the knees wide and allow yourself to fall forward. Keeping the weight more towards the hips. Just allow yourself to turn your attention inward as you bring your attention to your breath. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slowly. If you feel the breath, as you feel it filling the lungs, coming through the nose as a passageway, just send it right into the back of the ribs. Feel the rib cage expand. And on the exhale, just feel your hips get a little bit heavier towards your heels. On your next inhale, find a little bit more length through the arms, through the sides of the body, move the chin away from the chest. Exhale, just push the front of the mat away from you so you feel yourself flattening deeper towards your heels. 2 more breaths this way, finding more space in your spine, finding more length in your body. And then on your next inhale, come up to all 4s position. I want you to take the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, hip distance apart, shoulder distance apart. Spread the fingers wide and just push away from the floor a couple of times so that your arms are locked and you're able to spread your fingers that little bit wider. Have that sensation of just pushing away from the floor so you're not sinking into your shoulders. Flat tabletop spine. And we're going to take it into cat-cow. So on inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone, look up at the ceiling. On the exhale, down through the spine, bring the chin to the chest and really pull the belly in. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tailbone, look up between the eyebrows up to the ceiling. Exhale, round through the spine, pull the belly in, chin to the chest and push between the shoulder blades. Inhale, flow with your breath, waking up the spine, really stimulating all the nerve endings. Start finding that flexibility, that connection with your breath, grounding through your practice. Inhale and exhale. It's our last one now. So inhale, take it to the final expression of the pose. Really tilt the tailbone. And exhale. Round, inflate the shoulder blades, pull the belly in. Come back to a neutral spine. Curl the toes under. Try and get all 5 toes curled under towards your kneecaps. Push the weight back towards your heels. Inhale, lift the lower belly, lift the hips, and push into downward dog. Look forward first of all. Make sure your index and middle finger are pointing forward, spreading the fingers wide, and drop the head so the gaze is between the feet. Relax through the neck and give the head a little shake. So you're just opening up through the arteries at the side of the neck. And then bend into the right knee, bend into the left knee. Tilt the tailbone further up, the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Pull the lower belly in. Find yourself hugging your armpits around and out so you gain space between the collarbones. And then find stillness in your downward dog. Don't worry about the legs being straight, it's more about the spine being long. Inhale, come high on the toes, keeping the weight pushed back. Exhale, pull the heels down. Inhale, high onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, heels towards the floor. Final one here. Inhale, high on the toes. Exhale, heels towards the floor. And then take toe steps all the way to the front of the mat, keeping the hands grounded, first of all, and bending into the knees. Bring your feet just behind your hands, hip distance apart like Figure 11. Keep the head relaxed, and then flip the palms so you're hanging in ragdoll. Knees can be soft, belly can be resting on the thighs. Just let the weight of the head start pulling down the spine. Move more weight into the front of the feet now, so imagine your hips are above the line of your heels. And now grab opposite elbows, find stillness, or if you want to pulse a little bit or sway side to side, that's fine. You want to imagine the crown of the head being pulled towards the floor as you really find space between the vertebrae and your ragdoll. Drop the hands down again, let them be heavy, let the head be heavy. Shift the weight into the heels, pull the lower belly in, and start restacking the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling out of this, rolling the shoulders back, and the chin is the last to come up. You're standing in Tadasana. Bring the big toes to touch. Focus on the mirror, focus ahead of yourself. Keep your attention on your breath. We're moving into Ardha Chandrasana first set. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, take the right hand down. Inhale, find more length with the straight arm. Exhale, push your hips to the left and reach over to the right. So you feel a stretch all the way down the left side of the body from the fingertips down to the heels. Inhale, bring the right hand up to meet the left. Palms together across the thumbs. Keep pushing the hips towards the left and reaching to the right. You want to be flat from the side and beautiful crescent shape from the front. So the right shoulder might be forward, left hip might be forward. Keep the chin away from your chest so you can breathe deeply in this. Go for a deep stretch for 3, 2, 1, change. Come back up, palms still ahead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, put the left hand down. Inhale, find more length through the right side. Push the hips to the right and reach over to the left. So you feel the stretch all the way down the right side of your body. Again, flat from the side, beautiful banana shape from the front. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Join the hands in prayer and cross the thumbs. Keep the elbows locked by your ears. Squeeze your thigh muscles. Put more weight into your right heel now and reach over to the left for 3, 2, 1, and change. Come back up and relax the head back. Keep the head straight so the neck and shoulders are soft. Keep the elbows locked and the palms tight together. Inhale, lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, upper body, arms back. Push the hips forward. You're taking the weight into the heels. You're squeezing your thighs, squeezing your buttocks, lifting the chest up to the ceiling, taking the arms further back, way back, more back. Change. Come back up, stop at the top, head between the arms. Keep the spine straight, the legs straight as you fold with a straight spine all the way down till your fingertips reach the floor. Then separate your hands and just peel it out, keeping the feet flat. Just bend it to the right knee, the left knee. Give the head a shake again. Release anything in the lower spine. And then come down to a squat position. Come up halfway, so the belly is glued on the thighs, chest on the knees. Drop the head down below the knees. Take your hands behind your heels and lift the heels up so all 10 fingers go underneath the heels. Little fingers side by side. Squeeze your elbows together behind your calf muscles as well. Then on the inhale, pull on the heels to stretch the spine down. Pull on the heels and lift the hips up. Push the belly against the thighs, the chest against the knees. Lift the hips up higher. You're trying to lock the legs with no gap between your body and your legs. Keep pulling, the pull is how you get a stretch. Release the hands and straighten the legs. Bring the arms overhead, back together, palms together in prayer. Head stays between your arms. Inhale, come back up into straight spine. Pulling the lower belly in. Exhale, arms down by your side. Keep back to your breath, keeping your focus ahead. Focusing on your breath. Big toes to touch, please, darlings, if you can. Just bring the feet together. That's it, yeah. Okay, second set. Inhale, arms come up overhead. This time you're interlacing your fingers, releasing the index fingers, crossing the thumbs, so it's a tight pistol grip. Keep the elbows locked by your ears and just move them back behind your ears. Drop the shoulders away. Inhale, lift up out of the waist. Exhale, over to the right, push your hips to the left. Squeeze the thigh muscles, squeeze the buttocks. Let the lower arm pull the upper arm over, keeping that flatness from the side, really finding the banana shape, the crescent moon shape from the front. Right shoulder forward, left hip forward, go for your maximum for 3 and 2, 1, and release. Come back up. Make sure the shoulders haven't crept up. Inhale, lift up out of the waist, exhale. Over to the left, push your hips to the right. Feel the stretch all the way down the right side of the body. The left arm is pulling the right arm over. Left shoulder forward, right hip forward, chin away from the chest, and arms that a little bit further back behind the ears. Push through the right heel to get that deeper stretch for the maximum 3, 2, 1, and change. Come back up and relax the head back. Elbows still locked, palms tight together, tight pistol grip. Give the head a shake so the neck and shoulders are soft. Inhale, lift the fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw a line on the ceiling to take it to the back wall as you push your hips forward. Squeeze the thigh muscles, squeeze the buttocks. Weight is in the heels, toes are relaxed as you take your arms back. More back, way back, and change. Come back up, stop at the top, head stays between the arms, legs straight, spine straight. As you fold at the hips and come all the way down, so your fingertips reach the floor, and again, separate your hands to walk it out, bending the left knee, bending the right knee, letting the head be heavy to stretch down and create space in the spine after your back bend. And we're taking it down to our second set of Padahastasana. So take the hands, come down into a deep squat, then come up halfway, so your belly's on your thighs, your chest is on your knees, drop the face down below the knees. Take the hands behind the heels, lift the heels up to slide all 10 fingers underneath. On the second set, go a little bit deeper to try and get your elbows to touching behind your calf muscles. Then on the inhale, pull. Pull to lift the hips up, pull to stretch the spine down. Push the body against the legs. You're trying to straighten the legs with no gap between your body and legs. The pull is how you get the stretch. Move more weight now slightly into the front of the feet for the final pull and release. Release. Hands come back overhead, interlace the fingers, tight pistol grip, straighten the legs, pull the lower belly in as you come all the way up, straight spine. Exhale, arms down by your side. And again, it's back to your breath. Inhale, exhale. One set of awkward pose, first part. Take a step out to the right so your feet are like figure 11. Hip distance apart, but parallel to the edges of the mat. Feet are flat and take the arms up strong. All 5 fingers together reaching forward. You want to lock your elbows, engage your tricep muscles. Shoulder distance apart. Inhale, lift the chest bone up, pull the lower belly in. Exhale, sit down. Look in the mirror. Make sure your knees and ankles and arms are still equal distance apart. Take the weight into the heels and pull the upper body weight further back. Sit down a little bit lower, upper body further back, weight is in the heels. And change. Come back up, holding the arms strong, all the way up, so parallel to the floor for the second part. This time you're coming high onto the toes, onto the balls of the feet. Keep the arms strong, keep the spine straight, and come down with the heels high and the knees high, spine straight. Sit down as if you're sitting on an imaginary throne with your spine straight, lift your heels even higher at the end, and change. Come back up, heels down, back to your breath. For the final part, this time squeeze the knees together as if you're gluing them together. Don't let them become unstuck. Lift the heels slightly, keep the spine straight, and this time as you come down, you're squeezing your knees towards the floor. Squeeze the knees, keep the spine straight until you're hovering just above your heels. Your spine is still straight, your knees are pointing down. Keep squeezing the knees, pushing them towards the floor to come all the way back up to standing. Heels down, feet together, arms by your side. Jiggle out if you need to. Inhale and exhale. So coming into prayer twist now, one set here. So inhale, just fill the lungs. Exhale, dip down into a squat, fingertips touch the floor. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, take the weight into the heels and go a little bit deeper. Hands down to the heart center in prayer. Inhale, find length through the spine. Exhale, twist towards the window, taking your left elbow over your right knee. Look down, make sure your right knee is in line with your left. Roll the right shoulder blade back and down. As you push your palms together, take your gaze over your right shoulder towards the point of your elbow. Keep the lower belly pulled in. Find more length through the spine. Bring your right knee forward, then, right knee forward. In line, yes. And really push the elbow on the outside edge of your knee. And change. Exhale, come back to the center. Lift the hips up, drop the head down, and take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift flat spine, press the fingers into the shins. Exhale, drop down into the heels, coming into a deep squat, arms come up. Body weight goes into the heels, sit down a little bit low. Exhale, hands down to the heart center. Inhale, find the length. Exhale, twist, take the right elbow over the left knee, twisting towards the back door. Look down and now pull your left knee forward. Both knees are in one line. Sit down a little bit lower, weight is in the heels. Pull the lower belly in, make sure you're rolling your left shoulder blade back and down, and the elbows pointing to the back, so you're taking your gaze over your elbow. Push the elbow into the knee, hands to the heart center. And change. Exhale, come back to the center. Inhale, just drop, lift the hips up and drop the head down. Inhale, exhale. And we're ragdolling out of this, so shift the weight into the heels, pull the lower belly in, and restack the spine, coming up slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling the shoulders back, and the chin is the last to come up. Keep your focus, bring it back to the rhythm of your breathing. One set of eagle pose, Garudasana. Inhale, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, swing the right arm under the left, cross at the elbows, palms facing out, thumbs in front of the face, bring the wrists cross and then interlace the fingers. Pull the hands down so your thumbs are just below your nose, letting it stretch across your spine. Sit down low and bring the right leg high over the left thigh. Squeeze the thighs together, then bind the foot behind the calf muscle. You can't get the bind, just direct it down towards the floor still. Keep the weight in your heel. Bring the upper body back to keep your balance. And then sit down even lower to get the compression down the joints, down the middle of the body. Check your alignment in the mirror. Wrists, elbows, knees, and ankles in one line. So move your lower torso more to the right to get the alignment. Sit down even lower. And release. As you unbind the legs, unbind the arms, fill the lungs on the inhale as they come overhead, palms touch. Exhale, left arm under right. Cross at the elbows, cross at the wrists, interlace the hands, and then pull them down to get the stretch across the back of the body. Sit down low and lift the left leg high over the right thigh. Squeeze the thighs together, get the foot behind the calf muscle. Sit down even lower, taking the weight into the heel. Then bring the upper body back. So you're bringing the upper body back so you can keep your balance that way. Sit down low to get the compression in the joints. And check your alignment in the mirror. Wrists, elbows, knees and ankle, one line like tightly knotted rope. This time, lower torso moving more to the left. Sit down even lower. And change. As you inhale, unbind the arms, take them up overhead and palms touch. Exhale, bring them down to your sides, and again, it's back to your breath. Inhale, exhale. Taking it into our balances. Standing forehead to knee, first set. Shift the weight into the left leg. You want to contract your thigh muscle, spread the toes wide and push into the big toe. On the inhale, bring the right leg up like a little L shape, knee above the ankle, heel kicking and all 5 toes up toward your face. Really pull the lower belly in this pose so you're protecting your lower spine. Keep your focus on the mirror in front or the gaze in front of you rather than down the floor. Standing legs stay straight. On the next inhale, lift the chest bone up, pull the lower belly in, round down over your thigh, interlacing all 10 fingers under the ball of the foot. So try and get the thumbs crossed as well as the fingers. Pull the toes up toward your face and keep your thigh parallel. So if you brought your body up to get the knee, just bring the lower body down, pulling the lower belly in to get the thigh parallel. Final part here, just very slowly move the heel forward as you kick it forward, just to take it a tiny tap, just to start stretching the lower spine. And release, bring it back in line, arms straight, lower the leg, feet down together. So you come out of the pose with the same control as going in, keeping the rhythm of your breathing. Let's move it onto the right side. So contract your right thigh muscle, push through the big toe, keeping the toes spread wide. Inhale, left leg up. So your thighs parallel, kick through the heel, pull all 5 toes up toward your body. Standing leg stays straight and your gaze is forward. Inhale, lift the chest bone up. Exhale, pull the lower belly in, round down, over your thigh, interlace all 10 fingers under the ball of the foot. And that way you're able to pull the toes up, so you've got that sensation of kicking. Gaze is forward, standing leg is straight. Bring the body down if you feel your knees a little bit too high. Keep the kick. Second part with your standing leg stretched. Very slowly, just kick through the heels slightly, getting that lower spine stretch. Keep the lower belly pulled in and change. Bring the knee back in, lower the foot, bring the body back upright and back to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Second set, we're going to go for the full expression if you're standing, your leg is straight. So let's shift the weight into your left leg, push through the big toe. Inhale, right leg up, little L shape. Exhale, round down. Get the foundation first. The grip is important. It's the ball of the foot and not the arch. The thigh is parallel and the lower belly is pulled in. Gaze is forward and the standing leg is straight. If it's straight and only if it's straight, kick through the heels so your leg is now parallel to the floor, no higher, no lower. Pull the shoulder blades back and down, pull the lower belly in. If both legs are straight, take it to the next stage. Bend the elbows either side of your calf muscles. Pull the elbows in tight to your calf muscles to hug them or come below. If both knees are straight and the elbows are touching, take it to the final expression. Shift your gaze, bring your chin to your chest and forehead to your knee for 3, 2, 1, and out with the same control. Arms straight, knee bent, lower the leg, feet back together. Next side, shift the weight into the right, push through the big toe, contract the thigh muscle. Inhale, left leg up, exhale, lower belly in, round down. Let's get the foundation. Standing legs strong, kick through the heel, toes are pulled up towards your face. Thighs parallel to the floor. Keep the lower belly pulled in, and if your standing leg is straight, kick through the heel. Kick through the heel so your leg is parallel to the floor, no higher, no lower. Keep kicking, the kick is how you get the legs straight. Lower belly pulled in, if both knees are straight, now bend the elbows to come in to hug the calf muscles. Keep the elbows tucked in tight. If they're touching and both knees are locked, now shift your gaze, chin to your chest, forehead to your knee for 3, 2, 1. Arms straight, knee bent, lower the legs, feet back together. And it's back to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's counterpose this one set of standing bow. So we're going to do the shifting the weight into the left leg first of all, again, so get that strong foundation. Then open your right shoulder, have your elbow glued to your waist and your palm open. Without twisting your hand, just reach down and take the inside of your ankle. Keeping the shoulder open. Excellent, we're all there. Now take your left arm up, palm facing forward. Start with your knees together, toes pointed. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, kick back, kick up, your knee disappears behind your hip. Kick back, kick up, your upper body comes down parallel to the floor. Roll your right shoulder blade back and down. Reach forward through the left fingertips. Gaze is down the middle of your finger towards the tip of your nose in the mirror. Keep kicking, keep reaching. The kick and the reach is equal and simultaneous. Feel the back bend. So you want to now try to get your fingertips, nose, both shoulders and toes in one line. So keep reaching, keep kicking, and kick higher. Standing splits is what we're aiming for. Feel the back bend. Come into the final few seconds. Kick back, kick up, kick higher, and release. Feet together, arms down by your side. Find the rhythm of your breathing. Find your focus. Standing bow on the other side. Shift the weight into your right leg. Make it solid concrete like a lamppost. Open the palm. Palm stays open, elbow stays glued to the waist. Just reach down and take the inside of your foot without twisting your hand. Take the right arm up, palm facing forward. Start with your knees together, toes pointed. On the inhale, reach up. On the exhale, kick back, kick up, your knee disappears behind your hip. Kick back, kick up, your body is parallel to the floor. Now reach forward through your right hand, looking down the length of your middle finger towards your nose in the mirror. Roll the left shoulder back as it's pulled back with the strength of the kick. Reach forward and reach back. Feel the stretch, feel the kick. That's how you keep your balance and feel the back bend. Kick back for the final few seconds. Kick up, kick higher, Just one more time. And release. Release, bring your feet back together, arms down by your side, back to your left. And let's all step to the backs of our mats for Dandasana, balancing stick, one set. We start with our feet together. Start with our focus on our breath. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Interlace your fingers, tight crystal grip so the palms are tight. Fingers are interlaced, index released and thumbs crossed. Lock the elbows by your ears and keep your head between your arms the whole time in this pose. Inhale, stretch forward with the right foot. Shift the weight to the right, point the toes of the left and go. Body down, leg up. Body down, leg up. Drop the left shoulder, the left hip, so you're parallel to the floor. It's ballerina toes to the back wall, reaching fingertips to the front mirror. Reach forward, reach back, body down, leg up, and change. Step back with your head still between your arms and your feet back together at the back of the mat. Still keep that reach, the elbows are locked by your ears. Inhale, step forward with the left foot, big step. Point the toes of the right now. And go. Body down, leg up. Body down, leg up. Drop your right shoulder, your right hip, so you're parallel to the floor. Lift the leg high, lock the knee, point the toes. Lock the elbows, reach forward, reach back. Body down, leg up. Change. Step back, head stays between your arms, feet together. Exhale, arms down by the side. Heart rate on up. A little bit, maybe. Back to your breath. Okay, quarter turn to the side, so we're all facing the back door. And we're going to do our separate leg stretches. There's 3 of them. So on the inhale, take a big step out to the right. Land with your arms parallel to the floor. Make sure your feet are sort of almost in line with your wrists. Turn the toes in slightly, make sure your heels are in one line. On the inhale, lift the chest bone, exhale, leave the chest and the chin as you swan dive all the way down. And then drop the head down, bring the hands down to the floor so the fingertips are in line with the tops of your toes. Spread the fingers wide, palms flat to the floor. Drop the head down. You can bend into the knees if you need to, but try to keep your legs straight and fold yourself in half. So lift up through the kneecaps to protect the backs of your legs. Then bend into the elbows to bring your head down towards the floor between your hands. Don't worry if it's not there, that's what we're aiming for. So your wrists are directly below your elbows, fingers spread wide, fingertips in line with the tops of the shoulders. Pull the lower belly in to protect your lower spine. Pull the kneecaps up to protect the backs of your legs. Relax through the toes and change. Bring the arms out wide. Inhale, swan dive all the way back up. Inhale, exhale. Coming down to the second part. Inhale, lift the chest bone up. Exhale, swan dive down. Leave the chest and the chin. This time, take the hands down around the outside edges of the feet. If you can't get the feet on the heels, take them around the ankles. But have all 5 fingers together so you're cupping your hands around either the heel, the foot, or the ankle. Then pull it, keep your gaze on the floor between your feet, not at the back wall. Then pull on your heels on your feet to bring your tip of your nose down to the floor. Again, really lift up through the kneecaps, pull the lower belly in to keep your lower spine protected. Move more weight into the front of the feet, but relax the toes as you pull your body down towards the floor. And change. Take the arms out wide and swan dive all the way back up. Last one, take the arms down and back behind you. Interlace your fingers behind you. Roll the shoulder blades back and down and lock the elbows. Try to get the heel of the hand together as well. Pull the lower belly in and swan dive down with the arms directly behind you. Relax the head so you're looking at the wall between your legs, and then take the arms forward to the wall in front of you. Keep pulling the arms forward, keep lifting up through the kneecaps. Relax the toes, pull the lower belly in to protect your spine, and keep pulling the arms forward, trying to get the palms to touch, the fists to touch the floor behind your head. And release. As you come up, imagine you're being pulled up by your arms, coming all the way up, pull the lower belly in to protect your spine. Release the hands, And then bend into the right knee, bring the feet together at the back of the mat, arms down by your side. Back to your focus, back to your breath. Inhale, exhale. We're coming into our Trikonasana and our side angle poses now. So from the back of the mat, inhale, take a big step out to the right. Land with a soft knee and arms parallel to the floor. Make sure your stance is wide enough so that your ankles are underneath your wrist, just a little bit wider. Okay, heels in one line. Lift the toes of the right foot and point them to the front of the mat. Turn your left toes in slightly and then bend into your right knee so your thighs parallel to the floor. Make sure your knee is directly above your ankle and your spine is straight. You're not leaning over your thigh. Flip the palms to the side and then pivot the arms down. Right arm down, left arm up. Take your gaze to your hand up to 12 o'clock and then slide your right elbow to the inside of your right knee. One higher, no lower. Direct your fingertips towards the floor, but no pressure in your bottom hand. Gently push against the inside of your knee, keeping your back foot grounded to the floor. Really take the left hip down and forward. So you have a straight line from your ankle to your armpit. Keep pushing through the front heel, lifting through the pelvic floor. Holding the lunge, come back up. Arms come up. So you hold the lunge, come back up. Pivot the arms straight in the front leg. And then lift toes to take the toes to the back wall. So your left toes to the back of the mat, turn your right toes in slightly. Now bend into your left knee, so your thighs parallel to the floor. Knee directly above the ankle. Flip the palms. Wiggle the left hand down, the right arm up. Take your gaze up to your 5 fingers at 12 o'clock. And then slide the left elbow down to the inside of the knee. No pressure on the bottom hand. Elbows pushing gently against the inside of the knee. So it's directed toward your little toe. Ground through your back foot, lower your right hip down and forward so you have the straight line from your ankle to your armpit. Pull the belly in and then push through the heel, lift through the pelvic floor, hold the lunge as you come all the way back up. Straighten the legs, lift the toes so we can take the right toes to the front of the mat and the back toes turned in. Coming into our side angle, bend into the right knee. Thigh parallel to the floor. On your inhale, reach out over your front thigh. Really reach forward. Exhale, bring the right hand down on the inside of your right foot. So the fingertips are in line with the foot. Take your gaze and your hand up to 12 o'clock. So your left hand is reaching to 12 o'clock. So push away from the floor. Stack your shoulders. Tuck your bottom in. Push through the outside edge of your back foot. Ground through the front heel. Lift through the core and come back up. Coming all the way back up, holding the lunge. Straighten your legs and let's pivot on the balls of the feet, on the heels, to the back of the mat. Side angle on the left side. So bend into your left thigh, thigh parallel to the floor. Inhale, reach out over your thigh. Take the left hand down on the inside of the left foot, fingertips in line with the toe tips. Roll the right shoulder blade back and down. Gaze goes up to 12 o'clock, your right hand goes up to 12 o'clock. Push through the outside edge of your back foot, tuck the bottom in, pull the core in. Push away from the floor, reach to the ceiling. And change, come back up, holding the lunge. Straighten the legs, turn the toes to the long edge of the mat, and then bend into the right knee, bring the feet together at the end of the mat, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Well done, everybody. Master pose is there. Let's bring it back to your breath. So we're coming into our 3 triangles, extended, twisted, and forehead to knee. So on the inhale, bring the arms up overhead. On the exhale, take a smaller step out to the right. So heels are still in one line, and feet are about a meter distance apart. Turn your right toes to the front of the mat, back toes turned in slightly. Keep the hips and the shoulders square to the long end of the mat. Flip your palms. On the inhale, reach out over your long legs, so both legs are long, knees are locked. Exhale, pivot the right hand down, the left hand up. Take your gaze down to your bottom hand. Roll the left shoulder blade back and down, and pull the right hip forward. And then if you're fine, you can take your gaze up to your hand at 12 o'clock. All 5 fingers reaching up to the ceiling. Coming into your extended triangle. Keep length through the spine. Keep the belly pulled in. Keep that flatness through the body. Then come into a smooth transition now. Take your gaze back down to your bottom hand. And then take the arms wide like airplane wings. So you're leaning over your front leg. Take a smaller step in with the back foot. And then 1 foot space. And now twist your triangle. Take the left hand down. And on the inside of the foot or on top of the foot or the outside edge. Where is right for you today? And the right hand up to 12 o'clock. Keep that length through your body. Take your gaze up to your right hand if you have it. Keep the lower belly pulled in, the legs long. Smooth transition again. Take your gaze down to your bottom hand. Arms go out wide like airplane wings. Both knees are locked. Bring the hands to the hips now. Pull the right hip back and pull the left hip forward. So you're squaring your hips. Inhale, the arms go forward, either side of your head. Exhale, place them down just in front of your front foot. Drop the head down and bring your forehead to your right knee. So bend your right knee as much as you need to get the forehead to knee connection. Chin is to your chest, belly is pulled in, upper spine is rounded. Push the hands into the front of the mat, pushing the weight back. You're trying to get your forehead to your knee with both knees locked. And change. Straighten both legs. Bring the hands back together in prayer above the head, arms locked by your ears. Keep the hips square, the shoulders square, and pull all the way up to standing. Pivot to the side, and bring your feet back together at the end of the mat, arms down by your side. Back to your right. Arms down by side. Okay, second set. With the extended, the twisted, and forehead to knee on the left side this time. Inhale, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, and knee to step out to the right, arms down parallel to the floor. Lift the left toes. Keep the hips and the shoulders square to the long side of the mat. Flip the palms to the side. On the inhale, reach out over your long front leg. Exhale, drop the left hand down. And the right hand up. Keep your gaze down first of all, so you can pull your left hip forward, roll the right shoulder blade back to one of your hips. Imagine they're touching a wall behind you and your shoulders are a wall behind you. And then take your gaze up to your hand at 12 o'clock. Keep the spine long, keep the legs long, so pull up through the kneecaps. Belly's pulled in as well. Let's take it into a smooth transition. Gaze goes down to your bottom hand, arms go out wide like airplane wings. Take 1 foot step in with the back foot, please. And now we'll twist our triangle. Legs are long, bring the right hand down and the left hand goes up. So the right hand can be on the inside of your foot, on top of your shin, on the outside of your foot, wherever you've got the length and the flexibility. But don't collapse there, push away from the floor, reach up to the ceiling as you twist your triangle, keeping the spine long and the legs long. And smooth transition. Take the gaze down. Arms go out wide like airplane wings, and then bring the hands to the hips as you pull the left hip back and the right hip forward. Inhale, arms come forward. Exhale, arms down in front of your feet. Bring the forehead to the left knee this time. Bend the left knee as much as you need to get the forehead to knee connection. And then use your hands to push the front of the mat away from you, so you're taking the weight back. You're able to get both knees locked with the forehead to knee connection. Get the throat choke sensation, breathe into that to massage the thyroid, pull the belly in to give yourself more space. And change. Hands come back together in prayer above the head. Straighten both legs and round up, keeping your hips and your shoulders square to the mat. Pivot to the side. Bring the feet back together and the arms down by your side. Well done, everybody. Okay, let's take a quarter turn back to see the mirror, back to check your focus and your breath. Coming into the final 2 poses, tree pose, extended tree pose, and then tree pose with toes down, sorry. Shifting the weight into the left leg, push through the mid toe, bring the right foot either on the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh. If it's on the thigh, please flex your toes so you're not pushing against your knee joint at all. Don't want to be on your knee. It's all about being on the inside of the leg. So if you can get it on the inside. That's Okay, so keep your focus. Squeeze into your glute muscle to really open the right knee out to the side. Bring the hands to the heart center. Keep your focus and length through the spine. Take the arms up ahead. Interlace your fingers and turn the palms up to the ceiling. So you're extending your tree. Locking the arms, taking the elbows back a little bit behind your head. Keep pushing the leg against the foot against the leg. Squeezing into the right knee to keep the hip open. Palms back together. Bring hands back down through the heart center. And mindfully bring the knee forward and feet back down. Big toes touch side by side. Extended tree pose on the left side. So shift the weight into the right leg. Push through the big toe. Bring the foot either on the inside of the calf or the inside of the thigh, and not on the knee joint. Flex the toes if your foot is above your knee, please. Hands back to the heart center. Squeeze into the left glute muscle. Really push the foot against the leg against the foot. And then extend the tree as you grow tall. Taking the prayer hands up, interlace the fingers, and then turn the palms to the ceiling as you lock the elbows. Take the arms back and behind your head. Keep finding length, finding focus. And release. The hands come back down in prayer to the heart center. And mindfully move forward, feet back down together. Taking it into tree pose. If tree pose, which is a half lotus pose, if it's not for you today, then please feel free to repeat your extended tree. That's absolutely fine. So shift the weight into the left leg. Reach down and take the outside edge of your right foot. So you can lift the heel high onto your thigh or your hip area. Cradle the foot with your left hand and gently guide the knee down and back on the right side. So imagine you're between two panes of glass. Keep your hips square, your shoulders square. Bring the right hand to the heart center. If your foot will stay, you can bring your left hand as well. But if it's slipping, it's perfectly okay to continue holding the foot. Find length through the spine. If you want to stay here in tree pose, that's absolutely fine. If you want to try your toe stand, shift your gaze to the floor and fold at the hips to come down over a straight leg so your fingertips reach the floor. Walk your hands forward and then bend into your left knee to walk your hands back either side of your body. As you sit back on your heels, push down through your right knee and bring your left hand up to your heart center. There we go, that's good, that's good. And then bring the right hand to meet it in prayer. Straighten the spine. Your eyes to meet your own eyes in the mirror and smile. And release. Hands come down and then come back up over a straight leg. So fold up over a straight leg. Beautiful, really nice. Coming all the way back up. Just meet everyone in your tree pose. And mindfully again at the knee, just release the knee down, foot down, side by side. So let's take it into the left side, shift the weight into the right foot, push through the big toe, reach down and get the outside edge of the foot, lifting the heel high onto your thigh, your hip area. Cradle the foot as you guide the left knee back and down. So imagine you're flat between two panes of glass. Keep your focus. Hand comes to the heart center, one hand or both hands if your foot doesn't slip. You can stay here, finding length through the spine, finding focus on the breath, or try your toe stand. So you fold at the hips coming down over a straight leg till your fingertips reach the floor. Then walk your hands forward, bend into your right knee, and then walk your hands back either side of your body. Push now through the left knee towards the floor for that counterbalance. Bring the right hand up to the heart center. And then the left hand to meet it in Namaskar. Straighten the spine, bring your eyes to meet your own eyes in the mirror. Give yourself another smile. And release. Hands back down, walking forward to fold up over a straight leg. Come back into another breath in tree pose. And mindful of your knee. Repose, release, feet back down together. Excellent. Well done, everybody. So we're coming down to the mat now into our Dandasana pose. So extend your legs forward. Have hands either side of the body. Take a moment if you need to mop the ground. Take a sip of water before we activate this pose. So in Dandasana, you're extending your legs, seat bones are rounded, so just move any fleshy bits away if you need to. And hands just slightly on the floor, either side of your hips. Roll the shoulder blades back and down, and then push it into the backs of the knees and kick into the heels as you pull the toes towards you. Your core is engaged, your shoulders are relaxed, your spine is straight, sitting in a right angle, and you're inhaling, exhaling with an equal inhale, equal exhale. Find the rhythm of your breathing. Keep the legs strong. Keep the core strong. One more breath. And release. Release to the legs. Soften them up. Let's take it into a forward fold. So you're going to take your peace fingers, put them around your big toes if you've got that connection. If you haven't, then bend the knees. That's perfectly okay. So if you're bending your knees, bring your stomach on your thighs or chest on your knees. You're pulling the toes toward you and then sliding the heels away, keeping your body touching your legs. If you've been able to reach your feet without bending your knees, then make sure you're lifting out of the lumbar and pulling yourself forward. It's a forward fold. So you're folding from the hips and taking the body forward and down towards your feet. So keep finding that length, either from the bent knees or from the straight legs. But keep pulling yourself out of the lower lumbar region and forward. And release, release the feet. Bring the arms up. Inhale, the arms up and back. So windmill the arms behind you as you oil the shoulder sockets. Place your palms flat to the floor so the fingertips are pointing toward your bottom, not too close, they're about 30 centimeters away. Then bend the knees, feet hip distance apart, feet flat to the floor. Push away from the floor with locked elbows. Inhale, lift up through the core into reverse tabletop. So you really want to push to the heels, lift your hips up. Feel your legs are still parallel to each other. And release back down to the floor, bottom rounded. And extend the legs forward again in Dandasana, our staff pose. Second set of forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. You're taking your hands around your feet or hooking your big toes, bending your knees if you need to get that connection. So whichever way is right for you today. If you've got the grip, you can take the hands or grab opposite wrists, whichever way you want to. You're folding your body forward, pulling your face closer to your feet. And release, release. This time, we're coming down, nearly over sit-up. So cross your hands over, maybe you've got the leg mat behind you there then. So you're not knocking the door, that's it. Okay, take your hands over your chest, crossing opposite to opposite shoulders. We're going to round down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release the hands down, either side of the body, arms open. Relax through the legs, let the feet fall out. Relax through the body. Take a moment in this Shavasana. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Bring the feet together. Pull the toes back towards your knees. Take the arms overhead and butterfly your hands so your thumbs are crossed and your fingers are spread wide. Keep the head between the elbows. On the inhale, flatten the spine. On the exhale, sit up to the ceiling and then over to your feet. Okay, coming into our half hero pose. So keep the left leg extended. Bend the right knee and take the toes, take the heel on the outside of the hip. The toes are pointing back. So your left hip, you might find that's dropped down a long way. So if you need to, just fold the mat. Just add a little bit of cushioning so that you can get your hips square. Okay, you okay there, Ben? Anybody need a block? No, all right, okay. Activate your left leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling, kneecap pointing up to the ceiling. And then start walking your hands forward. Spine stays straight. Make sure your seat bones don't lift, so keep pushing through the seat bones. And the hands come down as far as you're able to walk forward. It might only be to your knee, might be down to your ankle. The spine stays straight and you're falling forward into half hero pose. Keep the extended leg active. And release. Walk the hands back. Straighten out the right leg. Let's take it into the left side. So pull the left toes back. The heel is on the outside, the toes are pointing back. Square the hips, so add any padding underneath your right buttock if you need to. Then activate the right leg, toes and kneecap up to the ceiling. Inhale, find length. Exhale, walk your hands forward. Again, spine as straight as possible. So you're trying to get your belly on your thighs, your chest on the knees. Keep the extended leg active. And release, walk the hands back. Bringing the foot round in Dandasana. This time bring the feet together and really point through the toes. So the toes are pointing, the ankles are glued towards each other. Hands come up and back behind you. Fingertips pointing to the bottom, palms flat to the floor. This time it's reverse plank, so on the inhale, push away from the floor, lift your hips up so you can't see your toes, lift your chest so you can't see your hips, and then drop the head back, reverse plank. And release, down to the mat. Into Dandasana. Bend the right knee, so that the thigh comes on the inside of your right thigh, and the knee falls out to the side. Bend the left foot, so you're interlacing your hands around the ball of the foot. And then you're going to start kicking through the heel, all the way forward, so your leg is straight, and your forehead is to your left knee. Elbows are tucked in tight. If your forehead is not on your knee, bend your knee as much as you need to get the forehead on the knee. And then tuck the elbows in tight. Now think about taking the right shoulder a little bit further down towards the floor, so your shoulders are square to the ceiling above you. Keep kicking through the heel, and release. Bring the body upright, keep the leg extended, and extend the right leg out. Now bring the right foot on the inside, so the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. Bend the right leg, interlace the fingers under the ball of that foot. And then start kicking through the heel, sliding it away from you. Forehead to the knee on this side, so only go so far as your forehead is on the knee. Tuck the elbows in tight, and this time think about the left shoulder being down. So the elbows are tucked in tight, and the left shoulder is down. Keep kicking through the heel, toes pull back towards you, and release. Walk the hands back, extend the legs in front of you, down into Shavasana again for the count of 5. So hands across your chest, roll down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Release in Shavasana. So palms open to the ceiling. Just feel yourself melt into the mat. You're relaxing the legs. So an inhale or an exhale. Yogi sit up again, so feet back together, toes pulled back towards you, arms overhead, hook the thumbs and spread the fingers wide. Inhale, spine flat. Exhale, sit up to the ceiling, head between the arms, and then over to your feet. Inhale and exhale. Back into Dandasana, and we're coming into our sage pose. So you're taking your right foot now, bending at the knee, you're bringing the right heel as close to the outer of your right buttock as possible. So there is a gap between your inner ankle and your thigh. You've got that gap. Take your right hand behind you. So I beg your pardon, you're taking your left hand to your left hip. Sorry, I'm not twisting the sage yet. We're taking the reach. So the left hand is on the outer left hip. Right hand comes on the inside of your right knee. Inhale, reach up, exhale, take it forward. So really reach the arm forward. Drop the thumb down so the palm is facing out, and then take the arm back from behind you, bringing the left hand to meet it in the bind. Pull the knee in towards your body, so don't let it fall out towards the side too much. Activate your extended leg, toes up to the ceiling. And then if you've got the bind, don't worry if you haven't, you can still go for the reach, or you can creep your hands along the fabric. If you've got the bind, take your body forward, so you're folding your belly to your thighs, chest to your knees, face towards your feet. And release from this spine. Extend both legs in Dandasana, bend the left knee, pulling the left heel close to the outer buttock on the left side. So there's the gap between your inner ankle and thigh. Right hand is on the outer right hip, left arm on the inside of your left knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, really reach forward. Drop the thumb down, swipe the palm around and back, and take the right hand to meet it in the bind. Pull the knee into your chest, into the body so it's not sticking out to the side too long. Activate your right leg, toes up to the ceiling, and then take the fold if you've got the bind. So you're reaching your hands towards each other. Use the fabric if you haven't got the bind. And breathe. It's on the inside when you get your left hand there. Reach forward and then back. And release. Release both legs out in front of you. Inhale, arms up and back. Take the palms to the floor, fingertips pointing to the bottom. Reverse plank again, so really point through the toes. Squeeze the ankle bones together. Push away from the floor as you lift your hips. Hide the toes, lift your chest, hide the hips. Relax the head back. And release. Back down into Dandasana. And now we'll twist our sage. So bend your right knee. Again, that gap between your inner thigh and inner ankle. This time your right hand goes behind your spine so you can lengthen through your spine. Hook your right knee with your left elbow, inner left elbow. So you're pulling your right shoulder blade back. You want your shoulders in line with your extended front leg first before you take the twist. So inhale, find length. Exhale, twist and make sure your right shoulder is in line now with your extended left leg. So really pull back. You're folding and twisting your body in line with the extended leg. Activate the extended leg back and release. Extend both legs and now take the left twisted sage. So the left foot comes into the outer buttock. Left hand behind the base of the spine. Hook the knee with the right elbow. Activate your extended leg and then roll the left shoulder blade back and down so both shoulders are in line with the extended leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look over your left shoulder. Feel them in line with your extended leg. Keep the active extended leg. And release. Release back down. Extend both legs in Dandasana. We're coming down to the mat again into Shavasana. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Open the palms. Relax the ankles, let the feet fall out. Let the belly sink to the back of the spine. As you inhale, as you exhale. Yoga sit up, feet together. Arms overhead, butterfly the hands. Pull the toes back toward your knees on the inhale. Spine flat on the exhale. Lift up to the ceiling and then over to your feet. And we're coming into our boat pose. We're just doing 2 boats today. So just make sure the seat bones are grounded. Bring the knees into your chest, straighten your spine so your chest is proud. Pull the lower belly in. Come to hover just above your, just over so you're on your toe tips. Activate the arms so the arms are strong either side of you, shoulders are relaxed. And then lift the feet. You see how far you want to lift the feet. The higher you lift the feet, the more challenging it is. So you can go straight into full boat if you want to, or half boat. But we're holding it for 5 with relaxed shoulders. 4 with a proud chest. With 3, pull the belly in. With 2, keep a regular rhythm of breathing. And 1, and release. Just separate the feet, fall forward. Let the chest fall between the knees, the belly between the thighs, relax the head. So just let your body be soft, relax the core. Second boat. Feet back together. Pull the knees in so you can really straighten the spine and get a proud chest first of all. Pull the lower belly in so you're not collapsing into the lumbar here. Okay. And then activate the arms, relax the shoulders, the strong arms. And then take your feet wherever you want to. So if you're straightening your feet, make sure your toes are in line with your eyes. Don't worry about shaking, we're waking up muscles. For 5, with a proud chest. For 4, keep the belly pulled in. For 3, keep the rhythm of the breath. With 2, keep smiling. And 1, and release. Let the legs go down and relax again. Chest between the knees, belly between the thighs, head heavy. Okay, if your knees are okay, we're just going to cross our feet at the ankles, our leg at the ankles. We're going to come all the way through our knees, planting the hands under the shoulders and stepping back into plank. If your knees are not okay, take the feet around the outside and step back into plank. So the legs are strong. You're engaging the core, you're lifting into the backs of the knees, you're keeping your hips just a little bit below your shoulders. You're inflating that area between the shoulders because you're pushing away from the mat. And gaze is just in front of you so that you are not dropping your head and looking at your feet. Okay, hold it here for one more breath. Strong core. And then we're coming into side plank variation. So drop your right knee in line with your right hip. Just behind your wrist. So you've got your wrist, your knee, your ankle in one line. Pivot on the ball of your left foot to bring the heel in that same line. Push away from the floor. Take your left hand, all 5 fingers together, up to the ceiling. Gaze can go up to that hand as you push away from the floor and feel the lift up into that ceiling. And release. The hand comes down, the left hand comes down. Step back with the right foot back into plank. So holding it in plank. Push away from the floor, inflate that area between the shoulder blades there if you can. That's it. Okay, and now drop the left knee under the left hip, hand under the shoulder. All the wrist, knee, and feet are in one line. Take the right hand up, all 5 fingers together, and your gaze goes up to the right hand. Keep balance, keep the core control. And release. The right hand comes down, step back with the feet into plank. And we're going to very slowly come all the way down to the mat. So make sure your elbows are going to go back towards your hips, not out to the sides. So on your exhale, come all the way down slowly to the mat to land with your shoulders between your fingertips. Bring all 5 fingers together, fingertips in line with the tops of the shoulders, chin forward on the mat. Okay, tops of the feet flat, bring the big toes to touch and heels to touch. On the inhale, feel your upper body off the mat, so there's hardly any pressure in the hands. So take your hands away, take them back down, push about 20%. Elbows are down towards your hips as you reach through the crown of your head. Now lengthen through your right leg, lift it away from the floor, point the toes as if your foot's being pulled away from your hip socket. Lower the right leg down, do the same with the left. Lift the left, pull it away from the toes, away from the hip. Find the length and down. Toes to touch, heels to touch. Inhale, bring both feet up together. Keep the knees locked. You're really finding length. Bring your arms out like skydiver arms. Keep breathing, keep lifting. And release down to the floor. Arms either side of you. Left ear flat to the tower as you lie in reverse shavasana. So open your palms. Keep your ears flat to the floor. And release. Relax through the legs. Let the heels fall out. Let the shoulders be heavy, get the profile stretched, let the belly be heavy. Find the rhythm of your breathing. Okay, chin forward on the mat. Turn your palms now to the floor. They can stay either side of you, or with the palms flat to the floor, you can tuck them under the body, your choice here. We're going to come into locust variation. So keeping the chin forward on the mat, on the inhale, lift the right leg, extend it away like it's moving out of your hip socket again. Keep the chin forward on the mat, lower the right leg down, and then bring the left leg up, doing the same. Keep the hips square, but you're lifting the left leg. Lower that down. Take the hands further under the body or towards your knees if they're there. Keep the chin grounded and forward. On the inhale, bring both feet up. Toes and heels to touch as you lift the legs and lower them down. Take the arms out, reverse Shavasana as you bring your right ear flat to towel, look to the back door. To release the hands, shoulders heavy, hips heavy, ear flat to the mat. Inhale, exhale. We're going to do a plank push-up now, so chin forward on the mat. This time spread your hands wide underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide, sorry. Curl the toes under as if you're trying to get your toe tips towards your kneecaps. Lock the knees, engage the core, and push up in one straight line all the way into push-up. And then bring the right knee forward into pigeon on the right side. So the right knee comes forward, plant it behind your right wrist. Extend your left leg back. Pull your right ankle forward so it's in line with your hip or even further forward. Flex those toes on the front leg so that you're protecting your knee. Don't collapse onto your right hip. You want to extend your left leg behind you, and then you want to pull your right hip forward, left hip back to square your hips to the front of the mat. Then you can start walking forward. So keep the weight, please, in the hips. The weight is not in the knees. Keep the weight in the hips. So as you're walking forward, perhaps even just push the front of the mat away so you can keep that weight pushed into the hips and not the knee. So if you're resting, it's down to your elbows. If you're sleeping, extend your arms forward, forehead to the mat, chin away from the chest. But still keep this pose active, please. You want to pull your left hip forward, even though you're extending the leg, trying to grow it longer. But at the same time, you're pushing your right hip back. And release, release. Walk the hands back to the body to come back up to proud pigeon. Fingers spread wide. Curl the back toes, lift the back knee, step back into plank. So inflating between the shoulders, core is strong. Pigeon on the left side. Left knee forward just behind the left wrist. Extend your right leg all the way back to the back of the mat in a straight line behind you. Pull the heel forward so it's under your hip or even further or even higher. Flex the toes to protect your knee. Square your hips here, please. So the left hip is back and the right hip is forward. And I want you to take the weight into the hips. Okay, and then you start coming down. So you're coming down to resting. Push the weight back so that it's in the hips. Or sleeping, extend the arms forward, chin away from your chest, forehead to your knee. Keep the pose active. Think about growing that leg at the same time as pulling your right hip forward. Think about pushing your left hip back. Feel this pose and embrace the discomfort. And release. Walk the hands back. Hands under the shoulders, fingers spread wide. Curl the toes, lift the knees, step back into plank. Holding this in plank. And we're coming into our sleeping hero now. So both knees come forward, knees together and heels wide. Toes are pointing back and sit down between your heels. So this might be too intense for the knees. If it's too intense, give me a wave and I can bring you a block if you like. So you're not sitting on your heels, you're sitting between your heels. You take a block. Oops. You okay for a block, Ben, or? Yes, sir. Okay, so just make sure your heels are on the outside there, please. And then start taking your weight back. You don't want to get your knee, you don't want to lift your knees from the floor at all. So only go so far as your knees stay grounded. So it might be that you only go to your hands. It might be that you can come down to your elbows. Don't worry if the knees separate, but don't let them lift. Might be that you can come down to the back of the head or the crown of the head. So see where it's right for you today. Okay, so wherever it is, just breathe deeply into the pose. Breathe into the compression of the knees. And mindfully, very slowly, come all the way back upright. And we turn around and lie in Shavasana. Extend the legs, open the palms, and allow yourself just to relax, let the blood flow. the feet together, another yoga sit up. Arms overhead. Pull the toes toward your face. Inhale, spine flat. Exhale, sit up to the ceiling and then over to your feet. And then we'll come up into our camel pose. Sorry, our half tortoise pose before camel. So bring the knees together, the toes together, tops of the feet are flat to the floor, so uncurl the toes. Squeeze the heels as close together as possible and then bring the weight of the hips onto those heels that are as close together as possible. Spine straight. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Cross the thumbs in prayer, palms together. So it's not pistol grip, it's just hands in prayer, thumbs crossed. Head stays between the arms, hips stay on the heels. As you fold forward, try to bring the forehead down to the mat first, then the outside edges of your fingers. Keeping the chin away from the chest, you're keeping the spine long. Activate this pose, it's not a hanging out pose. You want to find length on each inhale, and on each exhale you want the hips closer to the heels. Keep the core pulled in, it's a core exercise, and chin is away from the chest. It's just the outside middle finger edge that should be touching the mat. Okay, keep the head between the arms, keep the hips as close to the heels as possible, and come back up with a straight spine. All the way back up. And then take the arms down to the base of your spine, come high on the knees. So separate the knees. If you're feeling too sensitive on this floor, just double up the mat if you need to, because there might be some pressure on the knees as we go into camel pose. The hands are as if they're going into your back pockets. I want you to feel that sensation of pushing the hips down slightly and forward, so that you can lift up out of the waist rather than crunch into the lower spine. Relax the head back. On the inhale, push the hands down, lift the chest bone up. Exhale, push the hips forward, still lifting the chest bone up. Relax the head back. Keep the eyes open and the mouth closed. Little sips of breath through the nose. If you've got a nice back bend, take right hand to the right heel, left hand to the left heel. And pull on these heels to lift yourself up even higher towards the ceiling. Bring the teeth together, get the jawline stretch. And if you want to, bring the lower set of teeth over the top set. Really emphasize the jawline stretch and energize the thyroid. Okay, as you release from the heels, bring the hands to the lower spine. To come all the way back up. Sit down into a child's pose first of all. So the knees are wide, arms can be long. And then bring the knees together. And come into embryo pose and take the arms down either side of your legs and really tuck into this little pose. So the forehead is towards the knees, the chin is towards the chest, arms are pulled back. It's just that counter pose to our camel. We're going to counter pose it even more by pulling into our rabbit pose. So take the hands around the heels. Keep the forehead as close to the knees as possible. Chin tucked into the chest. On the inhale, pull on the heels and roll forward onto the crown of the head, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. The pull on the heels is how we get the lift of the hips. So your arms should be long and pulled. Don't twist your head at all in this. Keep the weight off the crown of the head by really pulling the core in and pulling on the heels as you lift the hips up. So getting that really nice curve in the spine. Final pull. And then pull on the heels to round out of this pose. So you're pulling yourself all the way up and out. Turn around and line Shavasana. So let's make sure the head's at the mirror and the feet to the back wall in Shavasana. The energy flow all in the same way. Thank you, Helene. Take a moment to relax in Shavasana. We're going to our final poses now. So let's move into wind removing with supine twist. First on the right side, bend your right knee, interlace your fingers on top of your shin just below the right knee. Move the knee out and then up towards your shoulder area, your armpit area, keeping the left leg long and relaxed. Elbows tucked in tight, back of the neck long, and elbows tucked in tight and down towards your hips and sort of equal into the body. Okay, now belly breathe in this pose to massage the organs. So on the inhale, inflate the belly. On the exhale, pull the belly in, pull the knee in tighter still, and hold it there. Don't let go of the tension. Keep the belly breathing and keep the tension in the pull of the knee. Massage the ascending colon on this side. And release the tension. Now come into a supine twist. So you're rolling onto your left hip, keeping the shoulders grounded. Take the knee with you across the body. Okay, so the left hand can come on top of the outside of your right knee. Extend your right arm away from you, palm facing down at shoulder height. And your gaze can go towards your extended hand. If you want to, you can take the toes and just tuck them behind the back of the knee. So you just feel that extra stretch into the IT band. Okay, and release. Come back to the center. Hug the right knee back into the chest again, just to realign the spine. And take the leg down long. Okay, let's do it on the left side. Interlace your fingers on the left knee. Take it out and then up. Pull it into your armpit, your shoulder area. And we're going to activate this with the belly breathing. So inhale, inflate the belly. Exhale, pull the belly in, pull the knee in. We're massaging into the descending colon on this side. Hold the tension there, keep the belly breathing. And release the tension slightly. Let's take it into supine twist. So roll onto your right hip, taking the knee across the body towards the floor. Extend your left arm away from you, palm facing the floor. And gaze can go towards your extended hand. If you want to tuck your toes behind the back of the knee, just maybe takes that stretch deeper into running down the outer hip. And release. Back to the center, hug the left knee into the chest to realign the spine. Okay, and then take the leg down long. Coming into the final part of our wing moving, bring both knees up together, feet side by side, knees side by side. Grab opposite wrists, forearms or elbows to pull the knees down to the chest. Take the back of the neck long, so there's your little chin tuck there. And as you pull the knees in tight to the chest, try to get your tailbone rounded to the mat as well. So you want every bone from the neck to the coccyx as flat to the mat as possible. And we're massaging the transverse colon, so use your breath again. Belly breathe and pulling it tighter on the exhale. And release. Release down to the mat. Release into your final shavasana. So make yourself comfortable. You need to put another layer on. If you need to walk around or take a sip, that's fine. But otherwise, feet down to the corners of the mat. Palms open to the ceiling, move the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the jaw, soften the tongue, and just release into your final shavasana. Into the body now. Become aware of your breath, aware of your body on the mat. As you inhale deeply, send your breath to the space, creating strength, the new energy. Last movement to start with your toes, with your fingers. Perhaps start circling the feet, circling the hands, just to feel those joints and slowly wake up. You want to take your arms overhead, bring your feet together. Really stretch through the toes, ballerina toes towards the back wall, arms overhead. Feel your spine arch away from the mat as you pace and stretch through the body. And then roll onto your right side. Take a moment to sleeping baby pose before you come up into a comfortable seated position. Whatever position you would like to sit in, just please make sure your spine is straight above your hips. So on your inhale, just send the shoulders up to the ears, roll them back and down. We'll just do 3 belly breaths. So inhale, inflate the belly. On the exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, pull the belly in. Inhale, push the belly out. Exhale, pull the belly in. And then let your breath fall into its own natural rhythm. Thank you for letting me guide you through your practice tonight. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and those in the group. Namaste.
Namaste.